One of the biggest reasons why dating has become so bad in this day and age is because love has been commercialized so much. We live in an era whereby men have been reduced to their wallets and women have been reduced to their bodies. So you find that a lot of us as guys are dating the aesthetics of a woman. We don't care about character anymore, we don't care about personality. We pretend to care about all of those things, but if her nyash isn't big enough, we're not talking to that babe. If her face isn't pretty, we're not talking to that babe. If she doesn't have big boobs, we're not posting her. And so, because as men we have reduced women to their body parts, it has become a game of which guy can get the hottest babe. And on top of that, once you get the hottest babe, which guy can show her off the most? And that has led us to ignore so many red flags about the people that we're dating. And it has put us in a scenario whereby we keep dating the same human being, just in a slightly better body or in a slightly bigger body or with just a slightly bigger bum or slightly bigger boobs. And we're essentially dating the same person and we're getting the same results in our relationships, and we keep wondering why the relationships keep ending. Because we don't actually understand who we are dating. Because the only thing that we're obsessed with is their aesthetics. And the same is true for women. Women today have been convinced that the guy who spends the most money on you is the guy who loves you the most. And is on top of that the best guy. Women need to understand one thing about rich guys. The richer a guy is, the more distant he is from his money, the less he cares about his money. The richer a man is, the more willing he is to throw his money at you because his money doesn't mean that much. And so you find that there are a lot of girls who will have a guy throw money at them, and they believe that based on the amount of money this guy has thrown at them, he must love them. No. If I have 100 million in the bank and I spend 1 million shillings on you over the period of 1 month, I have done nothing to my bank account. But for some reason, you are in love with me because I've spent that 1 million on you. And I can do that with 10 other girls at the exact same time. When girls are dating men's wallets and men's bank accounts, men can afford to date as many of them as they can afford. Because if you are all demanding money, it is very easy for me to disperse money. But the woman who demands a guy's time, now that woman really wants something. And those women, and it's very difficult for a man to split his time amongst 10 women. It is almost impossible. Eventually, you will notice that this guy is playing with 10 other girls. But because in this day and age, everybody wants to flex on social media or see what my man bought for me, see where he took me, see what he got for me. All of those things are not symbols of love. Somebody is purchasing your body. Somebody is purchasing access to your body. That is all they're buying. Whatever you do with that is up to you. Whatever you do with whatever he buys you is up to you, whether you post it on social media or you don't post it on social media. He doesn't care. He has paid the money and now he wants access to your body. And essentially that's what has happened. And the thing about it is that, the craziest thing about it is that not every rich guy is good. There are a lot of very unscrupulous rich men out there who will spoil your life, who will destroy your dating world. And the moment you are able to actually start focusing on the man as opposed to being blinded by the money, then you will actually start to have healthier relationships. Because there are so many girls who, as soon as they see money, they forget to look for things like integrity, uh, strong character, good morals, good behavior. They just forget to look at any of those things, and they justify any bad behavior that this guy has, any arrogance that this guy has, by telling themselves that she's rich. And because of that, you get signed up into these bad relationships and you get dragged along for days, weeks, months, until eventually the guy bails. And he's tired of you, then you snap out of it when the money stops coming in. And it's the same thing with the guys. We get so obsessed by a bum, by a girl's ass, by a nyash, that we lose ourselves in how this girl looks, and we don't focus on how she's acting. We don't focus on the fact that she's disrespectful. We don't focus on the fact that she's ignorant. We don't focus on the fact that she's annoying. 6 months into the relationship, you want to break up. Why? Simply because you're ignoring all these red flags in the very beginning. Dating has become so bad simply because we are all focused on the wrong things. We are all focused on the aesthetics when we're not focused on the people. And so if you take 5 minutes to actually focus on someone's character, to actually focus on how someone talks, how they act around you, whether they respect you, whether they genuinely love you, whether they are considerate of you, whether they actually spend time with you, when you actually start to focus on things that matter, not just in the short run, but also in the long run, then you will be able to start building real connections with people, and then you'll start having better quality relationships. As opposed to dating, not just the aesthetics, but also dating for other people. Because we are dating for other people. A lot of the times, there are girls who will walk past a guy they actually love and date a very rich guy simply because their friends said so. There's a guy who right now is with a girl that he hates, absolutely hates. But because his friends think she's pretty and because his friends think she has a nice body, he stays with her. And we sign up for these terrible long-term relationships that end up falling apart in 3 years. And yet the weddings were so elaborate, so big, so beautiful, and you're wondering why people are breaking up after 5 years of marriage. Because we keep focusing on the wrong fucking things. So that's my opinion. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments.